What was
No,
it? Towel over it. They all had the same towel.
They're protecting it there, protecting them.
Mate,
Protecting them.
you know what?
Skia.
Oh my God, I nearly killed myself on one of them things, man. One of the wheels come off, man.
For fuck's sake, I haven't got insurance.
Se ne acabes potuto, no si in Anglian. Tutto in Americanicon.
It's like we've got the game on Saturday, and then we've got a game Thursday, and then Saturday morning, 12:30. So sorry, Sunday, 12:30. So I doubt he's gonna go full strength. I really, mate, I'll be honest with you, they done a number on us last night at Atlanta, man.
They played well, man.
Yeah, man, really. I mean, listen, we missed stupid chances again. I mean, Darwin couldn't hit a barn door, mate. That guy. Do you know what it is with him? When he thinks about things, he fucks it up. When he does things instinctively, he's fucking unbelievable.
My Alex calls him a chaos footballer.
He is. We call him Carnage.
At United. It's chaos.
He's Carnage.
He would have been perfect.
Well, Ten Hag wanted him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ten Hag wanted him. Anyway, never mind, boys. You all right though, yeah?
Yeah, I was just thinking with this Charlie thing, I was thinking, shall I go in the loft and find my naff top, my chippy top?
Mr. Spliffy.
on one leg of jeans.
Yeah.
You're making tripes in your jeans, yeah?
Stel was talking about his Wu-Tang clothing last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was trying to dig out a Wu-Tang top, but I can't find them. They look like boob tubes now.
I've got a scarf, right? My brother got it for Christmas. It said "Protect your neck."
Very good.
And I got it in the loft because it was signed by Jizza.
Jizza. Quality. Yeah.
We've got a collector's item here, man. But do you know what? I think this is the best way to start the show, in all honesty. Yeah. Because there's no point, like I said, I keep saying there's no point in doing intros. We just run it like normal because when I hit that record button, I did it intentionally because I got a little bit nostalgic because when was it?
Shoot the defense.
12 years ago. Can you imagine? It's been almost 12 years since we started that pod, and it was us three and a couple others as well.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Man.
We have to do
like. No, come.
I was going to say we've got to do a few little like showcase pods, didn't we? Like some traditional showcase shoot the defense pods, man. That'd be good.
Bro,
been a while.
The one thing I regret is us not doing it with camera. Obviously, we've got audio, and I've still got the audio from all these pods. Because what I did, I used to upload it onto Audio Boom, right?
I remember.
And and mate, I checked the audio because so what happened was I uploaded them onto Audio Boom, and then I decided to switch them over to a different platform. So I lost those ones and then carried on. And the current state of Audio Boom is over 1,500 pods. 1,500 pods on Audio Boom. Man. Yeah, that's not including YouTube. That's not including other platforms that we've done it. And on Audio Boom alone, we got almost 1 million listens in total.
That's amazing.
It's crazy, man. Like it sounds like nothing when you're talking about other big YouTubers.
That you were counting when we were counting episodes. What episodes?
No, because when you go onto the main dashboard of Audio, it tells you how many shows you've uploaded and the total number of listens. So but you can go to each one of them and see the most listened. Definitely going to be Leon Knight's ones.
Yeah.
90s ones are going to be the most, because when he did Night Vision for us, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I remember that as well.
Ray, which one of you two on the interview with him?
Me.
Not me. It was Mike.
Me.
Do you remember when you went off on one? He was talking about Neil Warnock.
Yeah.
And everyone else. Ray, I'll tell you what. The next few days, I was looking on these forums because I did a search for his name. I did Leon Knight and shoot the
Spurs player. Who was the Spurs player?
Rowan Ricketts.
Yeah, and no. Leon Knight was talking about. The one who does Talk Sport now.
Jamie O'Hara.
Yeah. That was the same episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. He ate him there. But what I did the next few days, I was doing a Google search for his name. I did Leon Knight and Shoot the Defense, and I found this forum, Crystal Palace fans, Rare. And they were like, we need to take him to court. Neil Warnock needs to take him to court for the things that he says, blah, 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 blah. And Troy, there's like over 150 replies to this message.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this is crazy.
He was quite controversial, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was quite controversial.
See, this is the thing. He was ahead of his time as well, Leon. He was ahead of his time.
What's he doing now?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him for a while. But listen, he lives in Liverpool. He's living nice, man. The amount of money that he made.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good, man.
He's done well for him. So he's a good guy, man. And again, this is misconception about him because he's so vociferous on social media. But I've never had a problem with him. Never, ever. He's always been honest. He's always been punctual. He's always been reliable. And that's the kind of people that you want.
Look at what he talks about. His family's everything to him.
Yeah.
And I like that. Yeah, he has a go at people and he gives his stories. But, you know, I don't care because you can see that he loves his family. Everything, you know, that's really important to him. And that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a person.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, then, Michali, welcome to the Life of Charlie.
Life of Charlie.
You're the oldest Charlie out of the three of us.
Some distance. I'm 50 next month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You look all right, son, for 49.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Well, it's not really some distance because, Andy, you're what, 44?
46.
46. So it's not some distance, and I'm 43.
Yeah.
43? So it's not some distance.
We're in school. If I'm in year 11, if I'm in year 11, you lot are young'uns, man.
Okay, we're putting that into okay, you put that into perspective, all right. Put that into perspective, but yeah. So, yeah, you watched the first one. What did you make of it? Has he got legs? Has he got legs?
Yeah,
has he got legs?
Fun. Has he
got? It was fun. It was really good fun, man. I mean, I was saying to Stel, like, we just literally started the show and we just flowed for the whole hour and 20 minutes, whatever it was. Like, it didn't look like we was going to, like, it didn't get awkward, did it still? You know, like when you've got nothing to talk about, and it was just proper. And I've been thinking about, like, what Charlie was going to come on today, and you found the biggest Charlie that we could have found.
We need to find someone called Charlie, though, to come on as well and see what it's like for them. So if there's any Chaluskia, literal Chaluskia, feel free to join. But you know, I was really surprised with the response that we got, because we only got about 260 odd views on YouTube, but on Facebook we're close to 700.
Wow!
So we're like almost over 1,000 already, which is mad for one episode. Brilliant. So I'm happy with it. But like I said, the more people come on, the merrier. And
yeah, definitely.
So definitely got to find my Naf sweatshirt
for the next one. Yeah. There, you should get Rick, your brother, involved as well.
Cheeky. I love Cheeky, man. I love Cheeky.
South London, innit? He's still got a different perspective.
There, Dudos, he puts out a tweet today. Goes, it reminds you of the Gaffener.
He did. Yeah, I saw that. But Cheeky.
Do you know what? Now I say this, I've had 2 alerts on Twitter, because I said, send in your questions, and Rick was one of them. So we've got 2 questions from viewers, but let's start from Mike's beginning here, because
go on.
Obviously we did our story. Mike, background, mom and dad, which part of Cyprus are they from, etc., etc.
Okay, so my mum was born in near Mothwell in the north of the island. And she's actually 13 years younger than my dad. My dad was born in Menil, Larnaca. Menil's still there. Menil's, and growing up, to be honest with you, so they got married in 72. I was born in 74. So as I said, I'm 50 next month. And growing up, it was very obvious how my mum's family are very different, their politics, to my dad's family. See, my dad's family, Menil, he used to play for a team called Red Star. That'll give you exactly Red Star. If I go to the Gaffenion even now, where my Thea still lives, pictures of Gorbachev, Stalin, Lenin, you know, they're proper Omoniades. Whereas my mum's family are Boylistes. So there's that massive divide, yeah. So I had to choose. So obviously, I chose my dad's side.
Did you get the Zonny out if you weren't going to choose? If you didn't choose on one, he's getting the Zonny out, yeah.
You didn't choose shit, mate. You didn't choose nothing.
Well, I was encouraged.
Yeah.
I do remember growing up because my mum's parents were Brosviers, were refugees. So they were decamped to Nicosia. So when we were younger, we used to go to Nicosia. And I remember going to an Upperwell friendly game in this. It was just a field. And is it Ian Moores, Terry McDermott played for Upperwell.
What?
Yeah. And I remember Terry McDermott took a shot and it went wide and hit my bapu, hit my granddad. and he said in this, I don't know what accent this was. He came out something like, what did he say? He said, "Hey, bapu, you okay?" He went up to him. Yeah, Terry McDermott.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. I remember. I think it was Ian Moores. I'm pretty sure he used to play for Spurs. Back then, that's the only time, that I saw, that the yellow and blue and whatever, and then I saw the light, or should I say, my dad showed me the light. Dragon.
The green, you mean?
Yeah, the green. Yeah.
Showed you the way.
So that's my background in terms of where my parents are from.
So you're born in '74 out here, yeah?
I was born in London, yeah.
So when did your mum and dad come out here?
They came out here, I think, if I'm right, they got married in '72. And they came over here, and I think they went back, and then they came over here or something like that. But I was born over here, but I was baptized in Cyprus.
Right.
Same.
Okay.
I was baptized in Mashara.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you were in South London, if I'm not mistaken.
So I grew up. So I was born in Whittington Hospital. Lived in Holloway until I was about 1 or 2 years old. If not my memory, but what I'm told is correct. Then moved to Old Street. Moved to Old Street until I was in last year of primary school, and then moved to South London. So my formative development years were, as a teenager in South London, Elephant and Castle. Man, what a shithole. We'll have to swear.
Yeah, were there many? Yeah, of course, man. Were there many Gibrey down there though?
What, South London? Not in Elephant and Castle. They were further south.
Right.
So I think. I don't actually recall any other Gibrey at my school apart from my brother.
Wow.
So how did you integrate with the community then? Because I know you've done a lot of stuff over the years, whether it be in football, whether it be in education. So I'm guessing that it was just most.
Really good question. So Greek school, instead of going to the Greek school, the local Greek school, which was a church Greek school, I went to Greek school, South Haringey. So every Tuesday after school, my dad used to take us out. Yeah. So that's where I got, friends and, embedded in the community in that way. Also,
he must have got the Zonin out a lot back in the day, man.
Do you know, I didn't mind going Greek school.
I thought I was going to say I didn't mind the Zonin.
No. I didn't mind Greek school. I didn't mind Greek school because it was an opportunity to. It was something different, and also, do you know what? Because I was from South London, I was a bit of a novelty. So when you got
token,
you talk different. So it's almost like us going to Cyprus, being the Chalufkia. I was Dwayne. I don't know, going up to North London.
God. Oh, brilliant. And all right, so you told us about your mum and dad. What about your earliest memories of going to Cyprus as a kid? Everyone's got them. Everyone's got them, man.
Yeah. So as I said, my mum's parents, my mum's side of the family, they were refugees, so they were decamped to Nicosia. So we used to go to Nicosia because they were like bodyguard gears, like sort of estates that they built up. So my granddad and gran were 400, 500 meters away from where my auntie was, my mum's sister. So me and my brother used to stay at my auntie's, which was my first cousins. My mum and dad just stayed at my granddad's just to start. And then we'd go to, we used to go 6 weeks every year. We used to go to holiday 6 weeks. We used to go to school and say, what did you do? I go, I went to Cyprus 6 weeks. 6 weeks? Yeah, we went for the whole, soon as school finished, bang, on that plane. CY, Dragosha Kostria.
Yes.
Chicken Airways.
Straight away. Do you remember on those flights, though? You used to get proper cutlery.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Proper cutlery.
So true. That was we used to call it Chicken Airways back in the day.
How many times did you come back from those holidays and there was at least, don't tell me this is not true, at least 3 families with a basket of figs?
Rare.
It's standard,
mate.
I've
got at least, but
I've got a story. I've got a story about that. I've got a story about that.
What was it? No. A towel over it. They all had the same towel.
They're protecting it there, protecting them,
mate.
Protecting them.
You know what?
Skiare.
Do you know what?
3 families at least.
Do you remember them back in the days when we were proper kids and we used to get on Chicken Airways? Sorry, Cyprus Airways. They used to all like the uncles, because we used to go as a big family, all right? All the uncles used to go and plot themselves at the back of a plane with fags.
Yeah.
Right? There used to be fucking fags on the plane, bro.
Yep.
Right? Yep. And play cards, man, for the 4 hours that they were on that flight, man. And like that, I'll never forget that. That's crazy.
They used to use the shells of the gunnes as money, innit?
Yeah. Like unbelievable.
Guys, when you went on holiday, did you have to wear good clothes to get on the plane?
Yeah.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Brand new trainers.
Yeah.
Fido Dido t-shirt, 7-Up. Yeah.
Bro, back then I was wearing all white. I was wearing all white as well. I was like, number one is, I'm like, she goes, do you know how filthy you're gonna get? And it's like, even if I wore my shit clothes, I'm gonna get filthy. You sit on that plane, you get off the plane, and as a kid, you never know what would happen. You're walking down the Scalia, because those things were just like fucking death traps. You know when you see that in the movies where you got the bridges, it's like those going down the stairs when you come off the plane. It's like that.
I remember, mate. I remember. And the thing is,
my come to meet you.
Yeah.
The whole family talking. Yaya Bapu.
Everyone.
Uncle, cousin. Or Philip Posbudomeneu. Everyone to come. Everyone.
The whole fam, and they used to come and see you off as well.
Yeah.
They used to stand by the departure thing, mate. Like,
I didn't fear that.
Mike's just reminded me of this. So you were talking about the food that we always used to bring back from Cyprus, yeah? Like we don't have no fucking lemons in England and fucking like halloumia. So when I started going by myself, when I was in my teens and stuff, the old Limassol and Napa holidays and stuff like that. I remember one of the first times I went, my dad calls me the day before I'm leaving. He goes, "Ρε, πίνε τζαβέ στο θείο σου και έχει boxing να σου φέρει, να φέρεις πίσω." Right? And I'm like, "Why, Dad?" Like, πίνε τζαβέ στο θείο. Like, I used to lose it, the old man, yeah? So anyway, I've gone to my uncle's, right? He's given me this.
It's something really important, the way that he's
like I've gone there. There's this big. You remember the big boxes they used to give us, innit, lads, to go to the. He goes, "Na pais chamesto customs, na all this shit. Put this box in," and he gave me a rucksack, right? A rucksack full of grapes, figs, vacuum packed Baston Myers, Luganica. In this fucking rucksack, yeah? And I was fucking fuming. So get to the airport, blah, put the box through. The box has gone through now, the valid says, and I've got this rucksack with me now, right? For the whole journey, right? Anyway, got to the aeroplane. I've put it in the top bits, yeah, of the plane, the cabin things, yeah? Plane's taken off. Earphones in, chilling out, listening to the old Walkman. Yeah.
What with the Gazzetta, yeah?
The Gazzetta, yeah. Right. All of a sudden, this geezer, about 2 hours into the flight, he's tapping me on the shoulder. He's gone, "Excuse me." I've gone, "What, mate?" He goes, "There's something dripping on my head." All right. Lads, it was carnage. I've opened up the cabin, right? The grapes all squashed and compressed. And they were dripping on the geezer, man. They must have been dripping on him for about 2 hours. I was, mate, when I say pissed, I was fuming. I've called the stewardesses over. They grabbed the, mate, it was everything crushed in there, man. The only thing that was okay was obviously the vacuum pack shit, yeah? Oh, man, it was, mate, I'll never forget it. When I got back to England, I said to my dad, that is the last time You tell me to bring anything, man. Elus Hayanan Gondamu with the fucking grapes. Mate, he was screwing the geezer, man. He was just dripping on his head from the fucking top of the cabin.
So the town of it was a good idea then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because we can't get stuff in here in London. No chance.
Mate, honestly, it's the stuff they used to bring us, like we used to bring back, mate. It's like fear. Ekomendo das in Anglian. Oh, I was in Gibron. Village.
How many times have you given us presents, little kids? Remember those big fuck off pencils? That's
yeah.
No. Brilliant.
Yeah, and a football shirt. You used to get a football shirt with UHL Sport on the top instead of Adidas. It was Yul Sport.
You go down to Cado Lemeso where they had the tourist area. I've got loads of fake shirts at home. Loads.
Yeah, all was the same, innit? There was none of the like Liverpool at the time. It was Adidas. There was no Adidas thing on it. It was Yul Sport. Yeah. I was thinking, what is this, man? But you didn't want to be rude and stuff. You just take it.
I remember you telling this story about bringing back stuff. I'll never forget. Every year we'd go, obviously with my parents and that, and my yaya. The last day we were there, the last full day we were there, she'd get up at like 5 in the morning, as she normally does, and she'd get it's like a pushchair, a baby's pushchair, and she would go to the Bakalli around the corner.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
oh, mate.
Like how in England they've got that rectangular thing with the wheels, the basket. My yaya just used a pushchair. Right?
You're in trouble.
God rest her soul, right? But she always used to buy this jar. It's not really a jar. It's a jar shaped, but it's plastic container. Halumia, right? And she would bring anarayes and all that kind of stuff. And my mum would be like, "Mama, what are we gonna do with them?" And my dad's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake," because my dad was like, he's worried about the fucking weight, right? He's worried about the weight. He don't want to pay more. He's like, "For fuck's sake, Steph." He's like, "For fuck's sake, Steph." She goes, get the toro, wrap it round. And my dad's sitting there thinking, my dad's hearing toros because he's already used the toros to wrap him around the fucking VHSs, which he's got from the tourist area.
Yeah,
the pirate videos. So
the pirates.
And has to sacrifice one toro for this jar of whatever it is, right? Anyway, and then as time progresses, and like you, Andy, go on my own, I go see my Ella. Again, the day I'm going to say goodbye to Ella, Ella, and she's giving me more stuff. I'm like, come on, man, like this is taking the fucking piss now.
I know, man. It used to really infuriate me, man.
Taking the piss.
It was a nice gesture, isn't it?
Yeah, but your mum will say, "Hey, Barta, Embira's in Grima, you go Jagari, she spent her money, this and that." I didn't ask her to do it.
We used to leave it in the apartment in Hayannaba. We used to get it, leave it in the apartment and come back.
Oh, mate, yeah. Never forget that, man.
He's apologising now. Like they don't know already, Mike.
They went. What hotel did you used to leave it in? Hayannaba.
Yeah.
Yeah, all them years.
When we were going by ourselves, we used to get apartments.
Yeah, all them years you left it, mate. Some fucker opened a restaurant with everything that you left there, man.
Probably right.
No, they used it at the restaurants there. They used it at the restaurants.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I'll never forget them times, man. Like I was telling you that story last week, still off the camera, and I wanted to tell you about. I wanted to say on this week's show about the Iranin. Remember the Iranin in Larnaca? There's an old bloke there, Mike. Yeah,
still there.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know, it's crazy.
Behind the Hermes pottery.
Yes, that dude with the long beard and stuff. Yeah, so that guy, all right.
Sorry, review my mic because I'm laughing already because this story I've heard it once.
That guy. So we went out for a wedding, right? Not partners. We just went out the cousins. So every year, whenever we're in Cyprus, we go and get Irani, man, in the big Evian bottles, the little ones. You know the score. This one day we went there, he wasn't there. So we've gone back to the house. My uncles are playing a bit of tavlin, and my cousin's dad, who we've already mentioned on this show, I told you, Stel, we're going to be speaking about this bloke a lot. Top village. Anyway, he's playing his tavlin. and his son has gone to him, Dad, Gino's populata, to Iran in any danjame. He goes, oh, Gino's a behane, and chef, takrongya behane Gino's. Right? And we're like, no way. How can that be possible? We bought something off him last year. He goes, oh, and I lost Gino's a behane. Anyway, my cousin's wife, it's her uncle. And she's gone, my uncle's not dead. It was his day off.
Ah, brilliant.
Mate, honestly, mate, they're a zillion, bro. My guy is on the geezer, man. He was on his day off. Oh, mate, honestly.
The guy who did die recent, about 4 or 5 years ago, was the Bombers guy.
The bomb, yeah. Oh, we were talking about him still.
Larnaca Beach.
Legend. He was a legend. Yeah.
Incredible.
Absolute legend he was, mate. Absolute legend.
Yeah. £1 for the Gibrels, £2 for the foreigners.
That's what I was saying. Pagodon, Vega-cent, ice cream, 20 cent.
Supply and demand, eh?
Yeah.
It's more authentic when it's in Cyprus.
Yeah, of course. That's why they wanted to...
We pay the Charlie tax.
That's why they wanted us to bring everything back there.
Remember the shit money before they went to euros and decimalisation?
Yeah.
500 mils. The fuck is 500 mils?
I know. I know. It's crazy. It was crazy. Do you remember the airports though back in the day? Like when you was a kid, they were a bit scary, weren't they, man? Like the airports when you used to think I used to always think they were going to take me in the Stradon when I used to go to the airport.
Was it Adrian Exodo?
Yeah, like the other Exodo. And they used to check it. They used to check it out all the time and look you up and down and stuff like that. I used to get a bit freaked out in the airports. Now it's a bit better than Larnaca Airport. It's a bit more modern.
I used to shit myself because my mum would be like, when we get to Cyprus, we still need to sort out Adrian Exodo. I'm like, what do you mean I need to sort it out? I'm 10. What do you mean I need to sort it out? So we'd go to Lefkosia and just for a bloody stamp or whatever. But my dad, like I said, proper wind-up merchant. She's like, I don't know, Stel. He goes, I don't know. They might not stamp it today. You're going to have to do 6 months in the army, mate. What? I'm 10 years old. What do you mean? I'd be shitting myself. Myself. But he was smart, though, because he knew that we had to wake up early in the morning to get in the car to drive to Lefkosia from Limassol. And if I didn't, then you'd miss the appointment. So he'd be putting the shits on me first thing in the morning. He knew what he was doing. I still got it somewhere, but the very last one I've got it somewhere. I'm going to check it and bring it up.
We don't need them anymore, do we, guys? Like obviously because we do from Brexit again.
We're too old, man. They don't want us in the army.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I mean is, like the kids, do they still need Adrian Exodo now?
Yeah. So when we went,
at what age is that? At what age is that?
I know that 2 years ago, like Alex was 19, Steph was 17. We still got it for him. We were told we did it. Some people said you didn't. Because don't forget, I was born in England, so I'm a British citizen. My kids over here, so they're quite far removed. However, I'm a Cypriot citizen now as well.
Yeah.
Nationality.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
So does that mean I'm not a Charlie anymore?
No, you're still a Charlie there.
You're still a Charlie. You're born here, son. Sorry.
Definitely. And not only you're a Charlie, you're a South London Charlie.
Oh, okay.
You're more of a Charlie than we are.
All right.
True. Wasn't Charlie Chaplin from around South London as well?
Elephant and Castle.
Yeah,
Elephant and Castle. Yeah.
It's in your bloodline somehow. It was in the air. It was in the air, mate. Yeah, Ade. So when you were younger, we did this last week. Beaches.
Just Larnaca. Because we used to go, because my dad's from Larnaca. We used to go to Ayanapa, stay in hotels and apartments and whatever, like with the family. But we used to just go Larnaca because where we based in Nicosia, if we're going to go anywhere, we had an apartment in Larnaca. I used to go there. Or if we wanted to be a little bit more exotic, we used to go to Ayanapa or Brodara. But when Brodara started, coming up in in the early 90s, late 80s, when it first started coming up, like building wise and whatever, we used to go there. So we used to go there. Didn't really go on the West Coast. We were more East Coast.
Do you know what? Everyone I spoke to or I talked to about this, everyone's got some sort of, I wouldn't say like a dangerous story about going to the beach, but there's always been an incident with someone. I'll give you an example, right? I must have been about 9, 10 years old. And I already mentioned my cousin Giriago, who was a bad influence. But anyway, right? And my dad always used to take me and him to the Thalassa, ladies' mart. And one day he goes, here, we want a dinghy, one of those rubber dinghies, so that, you know, me and him could sit in this little boat thing, right? So my dad's like, fuck, I'm get one of those. He goes, she beripteron, Gigado. So we go to the beripteron on the way, and you get this dinghy, obviously, and, you know, we get to the Thalassa, you blow it up, and we use it for about 3 or 4 days. And then I think it was like a 5th or 6th day, we've gone out there, and me and Giriago are in this dinghy, and I've fallen off, he's fallen off, and the wind was strong, and it was blowing it away, right? And my dad's like, Hade, come on, come in. And I'm like struggling to get in, so he's pulled me in. Girago's like a fish, he just swims back to shore, you know, like fucking, you know, when you see the movies of the superheroes that go under the water and come back up for the what's it called, the shallow end. Anyway, so me and Girago look at it, we go, oh, you know, the dinghy's going, and my dad's like, do you want me to fucking die to get this dinghy? Do you want me to die? Like, and the things like the wind's taken it, it's gone. It's gone. Like 15, 16 quid, or whatever. But like, there's got to be something, because everyone's got something like that, whether it be a ball flying away or a dog running and chasing you.
I remember when one of our first lads holiday, something like that, or I stayed in Brodara with a friend and whatever, and we got jet skis. And back then, jet skis were, again, quite new. So we were in, where were we?
That's risky,
it man. Must have been Brodara around there, because we just kept going out.
Yeah.
And then we got stopped by a boat and said, where are you going? Goes, well, we're over there. We're just, you know, you cannot go any further. Because we were going towards Amohosto.
Oh, man.
So we got stopped by a boat, and looking back, obviously we did it when we got to shore, and we told people, said, "Are you stupid? You lot stupid." It was a proper, like, an official boat. I don't know. I don't know if it said UN on it or whatever, but they said to us, "You need to turn back now and go quick."
Didn't you lot think to turn in the sea? Like, you just went straight?
No, we just kept going. That's one thing I do remember, and looking back thinking, that was pretty stupid.
Was this like the 80s, Mike, or the 90s, early 90s?
It might have been, so I would have been, I think, 18, 19. So 92, 93.
Yeah, right. See, you were still in London mode, like no restrictions. No restriction. Not like nowadays. Not like nowadays where there's road closures. Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah. Straight.
Isha. Well, my uncle's got a water sports in Brodara. So we used to always going on the jets and everything like that. I used to love it when I was a kid, going on the jet skis, on the little donuts, when they used to take you on the speedboat. That was painful. Fucking hell, like, it was like your ass was hitting concrete as it was hitting you know, that was
no health and safety.
What health and safety? My uncle used to tell everyone, "If you put Thalasan, menestas in Malagas." That was the health and safety. Do you know what I mean?
It's like when you take the kids to the trampoline park, they go watch that video. You know? Yeah. You can't do this. You can't do that. That was the induction.
Yeah, exactly. That's the induction. It's menistas in Malagas. Εσύ πολύ θάλασσαν.
Εν κάμνει του τον καλάτο.
Με φάσε.
Έκαμε το που κάτω. Εντάξει.
Δίστο.
Εντάξει. You sure? Yeah. Don't worry.
I know, it's crazy. There is no health and safety with stuff like that. But I've got a little. So basically, I wasn't involved in this Thalassa story. 3 of my aunties, they live in Larnaca, and it's one of these beaches that we were speaking about still, where the ones that are just unknown, just one of these where there's like, no one goes there and stuff, and their houses are there. So again, my 2 uncles playing a bit of tumbling. This was around 5, 6 o'clock when it's nice to go in the Thalassan. Do you know what I mean? When the sun set, nobody on the beach, and my aunties have decided. Bear in mind, none of them can swim. None of them can swim. So my aunties have decided to go for a little walk in the Thalassan up to their waist, right, and have a little, chit chat. Cut a long story short, they all started climbing on top of each other because they were drowning. Yeah? One of them panicked, grabbed the other one grabbed the other one. These are 3 of my aunties now, yeah? 2 of them are my dad's sisters. And my uncles, they're not anywhere to be seen. They're playing tumbling in the house. So there's these 3 ladies now drowning by themselves.
As the sun's setting.
As the sun's setting, nobody on the beach. Thankfully, this old boy was walking by, saw the commotion, and he went and saved all 3 of them. I'll tell you now, my uncles would not have known fuck all where these women went to if nobody come on the beach that day, mate. It would have been, what, 7, 8 o'clock? My bully and edges. And they would have been gone, mate. Seriously. They literally started climbing on top of each other because they were panicking. And they started, mate, honestly, luckily, someone was walking by, mate. Otherwise, they would have been gone, mate. Honestly. No, my auntie said we would have been finished because they were all panicking and stuff, trying to hold on to each other, and quite scary, man. But Thalassa's can be scary, boys, man. Yeah, Thalassan.
Definitely. Do you remember growing up? When, again, I remember this when we were in Nicosia with my cousins. I'm young, I'm talking in the 80s, especially 82, 84. You should get the drinks, the bottled drinks. And when you do the cap, you used to peel the plastic off and you just get the flag of the teams.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, you used to have to, you could exchange them for gifts.
Yeah, that's right.
Gifts galore in the loft. I got a Fanta bag, I got a Coca-Cola football and whatever. But there was, we wanted all the we wanted all the teams. We wanted to try all the teams. I remember in 82 and I remember in 86 as well.
What teams were there? The Cypriot club teams or over here?
No, the World Cup.
So all the countries, basically.
Yeah, all the countries, yeah. So you used to like pull it off and then it used to be like, if there was a little man, whatever, if it was the mascot, for example, you used to get a free Coke.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Like that. Yeah, it was brilliant. I thought, why haven't they got this in England?
Oh, that's sick. I didn't know about that. That's the first time I've heard about that.
Brilliant.
The thing is, I don't know if you lot remember, like, okay, now we've got, in the UK, we've got, you know, Poundland and all these pound shops where you'd get the knockoff, like, for example, the wrestling figures, not the WWE ones, they'd be something else. In Cyprus, those were the main toys that they had. But yet, for some reason, they were cooler in Cyprus than they were in the UK. You know, again, you go to the shop around the corner, the toy shop, and you probably couldn't buy this now in the UK, but in Cyprus, you probably still can. Toy machine guns.
No, yeah.
And those toy machine guns, if you did it quick enough, you used to have like sparks coming out.
Sparks, yeah. And the cap guns.
You can do it with the other finger like that. Sparks used to come out. You're right.
Yep. The toys are better in Cyprus, man.
Shit, man.
Well, everyone loves Jumbo. Everyone loves Jumbo, don't they?
Yeah.
Jumbo. Everyone goes to Jumbo, innit? All there.
Oh, anything from Jumbo there. You could buy anything from Jumbo. You could buy sweets. You can buy drinks. You can buy washing machines. You can buy anything. And I think most of it's from China anyway, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, most of it.
Well, whenever my cousins go over there with their young kids, they're always, we're going Jumbo today. And they'll spend like half a day in Jumbo. It's like, what's going on in there, man?
Jumbo is. It's like going. It's the antithesis. Is the exact opposite of going to Costco. You go to Costco for one thing, and you spend like £300, and you buy a thing. Then you go to Jumbo. You do exactly the same thing. You buy exactly the same amount of goods for €3.
Yeah,
it's madness. That's why everyone spends half a day in Jumbo then.
Yeah, but bro, you could get the best stuff from Jumbo. It's like I'll give you an example. You know when you're making your, I don't know, when you're doing a souvla, right, and you put the garvuna on, there's like this machine where it's, how can I put it? You got the plastic handle and then it's a metal rod that comes out and it's shaped like, I can't explain it. It's like curvy shaped. And then it's got an element. And when you press it, it heats it up. So you put it underneath the garvuna and it heats them up and it sets
That's them up. Unbelievable.
We don't have that out here.
No.
We don't have that out here. And I don't know if you guys remember, back then, probably we're talking late 80s, you could only buy the modores for your fugu in Cyprus.
That's right. My dad's
the black one with the big, you needed 2 fat batteries.
Bravo.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's Fogun he's had it for 40 years, mate, from Cyprus. Man. And it's still going. It's still going, mate. We bought him an archway about 4 years ago, yeah? He don't use it, man. Yeah, it's fucking shit. It's shit, this one. And I'm sorry to say that. Sorry to say that because all my pals are from Archway. But my dad's village, mate. Oh, tudi puti Kipro, mate. Like he's Saranda Kronya boy. And you know what? It's unbelievable still. It's still in good nick. You would never forget it. And it's got the bricks in it as well. So they were ahead of their time back in the day. Do you know what I mean?
When your dad's a few years ago in Jumbo, just walking around aimless, I couldn't be bothered aimless. And then, yes, got to buy that. So I bought it, went back home with the boys about 5-6 years ago. American football for the beach. It was brilliant.
No way.
Yeah, an American football for the beach. We're doing it in the sea. It was fantastic.
Things like that are wicked.
I've got it in Cyprus. Got it in the house in Cyprus.
Yeah, things like that are brilliant. And you know what? Still, you're right. My cousin was telling me about a lot of like utilities for the Fugoys and stuff. Like the fan, you've got the fan to keep the governor going and stuff like that. We ain't got it. I mean, we use a hairdryer over here. When I need to light the governor quick, I go and grab the missus hairdryer.
Yeah, well, I go and grab
my missus. My missus goes mad. I go and grab her hairdryer and start fucking flaming up the governor.
Do you know what I mean? I use those the flat markers for that used for coaching.
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like even the firelighters we've got out here, they're crap, man. They're rubbish.
Yeah.
But you lot buy Big K. Everyone buys Big K governor, isn't it?
It used to be Big K, and let's plug my mate's place, White Heat. White Heat we used to buy all the time in the boxes. But now Big K's come back again and stuff. So they do like the big bags and stuff, don't they? So yeah. Well, the Big K there.
Mike, your brother has asked a question. He goes, where was the best PITTA SOUVLAKIA you had as a kid? Also, where was the best Lunar Park?
You go first. You go first, Mike.
Lunar Park, where Baba Filippo used to be. The ice cream.
Yes, man, the ice cream dude.
And there was a go-kart place there as well.
Oh my God, I nearly killed myself on one of them things, man. One of the wheels come off, man.
The worst thing I can imagine that happening to you, man.
One of the wheels come off. One of the wheels come off, man, on the go-kart. But I know exactly what you're talking about. That was the best Lunar Park.
It was. Both sides.
Yeah, man, it was amazing. It was, and that's where the go-kart track was.
And you know what? Like when we used to, Cyprus was the only place to go and play with arcades when we were really young. When we were old,
come on,
era, whatever. But the tricks you used to learn. So when me and my brother we used to love like the sporty, the Olympics, whatever. Remember Hypersports, the arcade game?
Yeah.
So we're waiting for this guy to play, and we're looking at his score.
That one.
Okay, we're going to kind of go like that. Do you know what this geezer did? He got a can of Coke. He drank it. He like sort of halved it like that as it was. So it sort of like folded like that. Put it on the
genius
button, like that. Yeah. He was playing like Ben Johnson.
Yep. Or they get the 10 cents and they put the 10 cents flat, not like that. They put it like that and they tap it like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Them games
that was like, wow.
I used to pull hamstrings in my fingers playing that game.
Yeah. But we took something from South London to there. So back in the when I was at school in the 80s, there used to be this fish and chip shop near our school, and then we used to like, because our school was closed, but we used to jump. My parents won't watch this. Used to jump out, go to the fish and chip shop, and
the Zonin's coming out again.
Out on Street Fighter, games like that. And I don't know if you remember plastic wire. Do you remember the plastic wire trick? Plastic wire trick. We used to get it. We used to get it from DT. So we used to make it into the shape of a 50p coin, like this, and then we used to put it in the machine, and then you hear a click and pull it back out.
Oh my goodness!
Out. I remember once we were in there. We didn't even go back to school. We were in there for so long. The guy comes round and goes, "Have you got 154 credits?" We just go like that. We should take it in turns to play. Yeah, it's great. We took it to Cyprus, but it wouldn't work in Cyprus.
No, the Gibraltar were on you, man. They were on you. They knew.
It wouldn't work.
Do you remember playing Space Invaders in Cyprus? I'm sure you guys went to Coral Bay, right? I can't remember which taverna it was, but it's right on the top. So you're overlooking Coral Bay, the beach, but there's taverna. I forget which one it's called, right? And it was a table, but it was like you're sat down and the screen is down. Do you get what I'm saying?
That was like 1947.
Yeah.
Yes. The aeroplane game.
Yeah.
That's the one you mentioned last week.
Yeah. I mentioned that last week. Yeah. You used to sit down on that one still.
Yeah, I used to love that.
Bro, you used to sit down and like you're looking down. It's not like
on down the screen. Yeah. Yeah. The Souvlakia, I'll be honest with you, the Souvlakia, the best place I ever used to get Souvlakia was in Larnaca. Do you remember where Miliges is?
Yes.
So you know where Miliges is, and you know, you used to walk along that's all changed now, innit? It's a road now, innit? It's all I'm gutted, mate. It used to be like a nice little walk right just past Miliges, so as if you're walking
before Stefano's. Before Stefano's place on the corner.
Yes, right. Right in the middle there used to be a little like shed, mate. It was called Chris's Kebabs, and they were the best Souvlakia ever, mate. Like,
Cyprus tastes nicer anyway.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, like when you obviously eat at your parents, everyone's parents make the best Souvlakia, right? That was like what this place was like. It was eating like a bit of Souvlakia, like from home. And I used to love eating there, man. We used to have one little table outside. I used to get my bitano Souvlakia with some xidada, like a few little peppers here and stuff. Can of fucking Sprite or Fanta, whatever he had there, or the bottles. I used to love the bottles. The glass bottles were unbelievable. Yeah, do you remember the glass bottles though of Sprite? How nice that Sprite used to taste, man. So sweet.
Those bottles. I mean, I don't drink fizzy drinks anymore, but those bottled drinks were the best.
Yeah, they were the best, man.
It was the caps. It was about the caps and the little flags. It was great.
Yeah. I don't remember them flags though, man.
Yeah.
Gutted, man. Gutted. I'm gutted because I missed out on that. I would have loved. I probably would have had about thousands of them now.
Yeah, Mike's got a whole museum.
Start with chewing gum. All over. Yeah, but that for me, that Souvlakia was the best for me.
That's a good. I just any Souvlakia from Cyprus just tasted nice.
Yeah.
I've got to shout out my uncle Emilio because he lives in Dimi, and we used to go to his house. And again, Dimi, I didn't know much about. Like, if you asked me where it is on the map, I couldn't show you where it is. But from the times that I remember, it's a very small urban area, not a shopping site, whatever. But you go to his house and forget the hospitality, but he would make a mean souvla, right? And it was ridiculous. It was incredible. Like, and the thing is, you've always got one relative, as much as you don't want to admit it, you've always got one relative where his souvlas are better than your dad's.
Yeah.
And as much as you don't want to admit it to your dad, you just know there's one where you're like, you're going around there for souvla. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that happens to be my dad. I told you last week. My old man is known as the master. I told you his name's Savagi, but they call him Uncle Souvlaki. Because like he's the master of it all. But I was going to say something to you. Do you guys remember going to the village and where they used to slaughter before you was going to eat?
Yeah, you'd hear the
Oh man, no, forget here. We used to play with these motherfuckers, man. We used to be playing with them, and then the next thing they'd be on your table, and you would seriously, mate, unbelievable. Like my uncles were ruthless, man, back in the day, ruthless. Like we used to play with these little things, man, and then Ade, Gani.
Yeah.
The chickens in Cyprus looked starved.
Yeah.
They didn't look plump. Or is it that because we over here inject them with all the shit that they're fat and hench and whatever, and Cyprus is actually how they should be? But they just
maybe
they just look starved.
They taste different though, don't they? Chickens. Yeah. I find that anyway. They taste different. They taste different.
Cyprus, the meat doesn't.
Yeah. 100%. Taste like it's supposed to taste, I think. Yeah.
my dad, who should have been, you know, he wasn't a trained chef, but he should have been always in restaurants, you know, throughout his life and whatever. And I remember going to, it might have been Orfanides when it first opened. You know, when it was a big fan, massive place. Yeah. So we went to the butcher's in there, and he asked for a specific cut. Now, my dad knows his meat inside out, back to front, knows it. And the guy gets his, I knew nothing, I'm young now, I'm just watching. And he starts cutting, he goes, "Re, namu gamnis." Goes, he better, no, I ginon. He's like, after he goes, "Ginon, re, mai se kasabi sesi." I swear to God, if he had the opportunity, he would have gone round and cut it himself.
Cut himself.
Oi, ginon in duton, pupochi, pupoda. The butcher had to cut in on Fanidis. By the way, that's got a loud voice. Like, I've got that. My dad goes, "No, it
booms around the whole building.
Yeah, like that. And I'm like,
he got an audience after a while, didn't he?
My dad, no shame, especially when it came to food. No shame. He didn't do it right, my friend.
Is that what it was like when you was about to put the Up Oil shirt on? No.
Oh, man,
it was a conscious choice.
Yes.
Did you guys have any family members that you would kind of like you'd have a little rivalry with? Let me give you this example then, right? Because my mum told me this story the other day, and I completely forgot about it. But you know, so I've gone to mum and dad's, and we're eating, and Stefania, she asked, like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? Just like random question that a 10-year-old would. And my dad looks at me, goes, "Are you going to tell her?" I was like, "What am I going to tell her?" He goes, "Lamb's testicle." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Don't you remember?" So I've got my cousin Griago in Cyprus. He's got a cousin on the other side of the family called Matthew. He's half British, half English, half Cypriot. Lives in Bristol, right?
Yeah.
And whenever we went to Cyprus, it was me, Griago, and Matthew. And it's almost as if me and Matthew were fighting for Griago's attention because, you know, we're cousins and whatever, but we're from the UK as well. So whatever. So we've gone again to my Uncle Emilio's house in Dimi. And apparently, I don't remember this story, but if it happened, it happened. The adults, the men, were sitting there and they were eating lamb's testicles. And the uncles, they go, Ella, Betya, Ella, try this. And Matthew was like, "What's this?" And my dad was like, "It's lamb's balls." He's like, "Oh, it's disgusting." I was like, "Let me try." He goes, "What?" Yeah, I said, "Let me try." So I tried it just to spite Matthew, just to get one over on him. Like, I don't remember this, but apparently that's what happened. So I'm sure someone has got to have some kind of rivalry with a family member or something just to.
Oh yeah, I mean, we always used to compete with anything really, football, riding bikes. I mean, when my dad first moved over to this country, him and his sister, I don't know what they must have got a buy one get one free house because they were next door neighbours, and it was actually opposite Barrowell Green,
Yes.
the park. You know the park, Barrowell Green, yeah. Yeah, when it just past the dump, and it was on that.
No.
Yeah. And there's no lie, my dad and his sister used to live next door to each other, and you know they did the proper village thing. Guess what they did?
They knocked the wall down.
Yeah, knocked the fence down. So we had one big fuck off garden. Yeah, when we were growing up. Yeah. But what happened was when we started getting a bit older, the cousins, so there was 4 on their side, and there was me and my brother, so three on our side. When we used to get competitive and stuff, and we used to have rows, we used to wind each other up. So we used to see where the line was, where the fence used to be, and like I put my wheel on my BMX over like the side of there, and he used to start. One of them used to start, "Man, he's in our garden. He's not allowed." And I say, all of that shit. Do you know what I mean? It used to be like when we used to have a row, we weren't allowed on each other's side of the garden, basically. But that was brilliant, man. You just brought back another memory, man. I used to love them days, man.
What is it about us lot? Like they all like live around the same vicinity because like my mum and dad live on their road, and at the top of their road, and you do a right, you got my auntie's house, and across the road she bought the house for my cousin.
Yeah,
it's like my bapu used to live round the corner. So we were, oh yeah, and my other cousin bought a house round the corner from my bapu. So it's like,
yeah,
there's like, I don't know, half
you're
a mile
right.
radius, and we all live there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's like a village thing, I guess, where like everyone was so used to living together, and then obviously when the families grow,
Yeah, I think obviously they used to find out where there was an area where the houses were about and stuff. So like obviously Barrowell Green at the time, it was my dad, his sister, and then about four doors down was my aya's brother, who was an ice cream man. And he used to have his little ice cream truck in the back there, and we used to go there. It's brilliant, man. Every summer used to be by the used to follow him around with the ice cream going around Winchmore Hill. It was brilliant, man. Great memories. Used to love the memories, man. And obviously you had Barrowell Green, the park right there.
Yeah.
It was a cricket pitch, to be honest, but we didn't give a shit. We used to be there all the time playing our Wembley doubles and our 11s. Do you know what I mean? It was great times there, man. Great times.
That's alien to me because I grew up on an estate in South London.
Yeah.
So and then I think one year, I think on the 3rd floor, a Greek family turned up. So like my mum was like, "Oh, Ngibray."
Straight away.
Yeah, so that was a novelty. But in South London, the only South Londoners that I knew well were like my older cousins, and they were my cousins that used to take me to United, to Old Trafford, to away games, and they were like proper Cockney Reds, but they're older than me. So they're the only real Cypriots, Greeks that I knew in South London. My cousins were further south, like really further south, my first cousins. And I had other cousins in sort of central Londonish, that sort of thing, and Westminster. But what was it talking about is an alien thing where you had like family there, and you had someone there, and you go to school and half your classmates are, know exactly,
your cousins.
Cyprus, how many went Cyprus? Like half the class. That was alien. Alien to us.
Yeah.
So Mike, when did you kind of grow your Cypriot friend circle? Because we know Stuffy and John and all these. I mean,
it's a good point. So obviously football's a big thing. So I used to train. So when I was at uni, and when it's come down, Cosmos used to be South London team. So one of my good mates used to play for Cosmos and whatever. I never used to play because I was at uni and whatever. I used to train with them. So I used to, that circle of friends. One of my best friends, my Gumbaro, he's from North London. So we used to like just say, oh, we'll just jump on a bus. We'll go to Tottenham. He used to live in Tottenham. So from South London, he used to jump on a bus, take us 75, 80 minutes to go there, just so we can go to, I don't know, swimming baths and go to Edmonton Green swimming baths, or go and play football at Lee Valley, just to spend some time there, jump on the bus and come home. So I had friends in North London. So, but it was a case of me and my brother had to go there to have that, to meet our friends and whatever. So, what you mentioned, people like Stuffy and John, I met them at uni. But, football and other stuff are really, Greek school. They're the reasons how my network of Cypriot friends grew.
And the thing is, like, not that we try to avoid talking about football, because obviously there's loads of football on our platform anyway, but there's one thing I wanted to ask you and Andy about, because you guys know this very, very well, and that's the KOPA League.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I don't know what's happened to it now, but I remember growing up, I never watched games, I never attended events, but every time I'd see, Jan and Ban and all the others, they'd be talking about what happened at the weekend in the KOPA League, and this was huge for the community, wasn't it? It was going on for decades, was it not?
Yeah, massive.
Yeah,
70s and 80s and 90s was massive. Like, I'm talking 500 fans at games, 1,000 fans at games.
When Omonia played, big teams like Omonia, IL,
Athletic United. Do you remember them?
There's a great photo of Broomfield Park. And there must have been, I don't know, there was hundreds of people watching Omonia play. Because don't forget, the reason KOPA started was obviously that the migrants came over and they wanted to bring over, some of their, their heritage. So you know that they want to keep the names. They set up football teams and they wanted to play football, and the Gafenia kept their names. And I'm pretty certain KLN is the first club. It
was. It was.
In 50, I think 54. Now, I think you may have seen this on Twitter. I've mentioned this before. You both must know this, but I've got a photo of my dad, and the photo was taken in Moscow. KLN went to represent Cyprus football from this country at they were called the World Youth Games in Moscow. That's when back in the Cold War, the Cold War era, the height, wanted to promote youth and whatever. They invite people from all over the world. So my dad went with KLN in 1950, I think 7, I think it was. I believe it's the oldest photo of KLN that's still there. And my dad was going through the different, my dad's 86 now. 87, sorry, he's 87. So that was, that was a good while ago. And it's
amazing.
Tutos in Anglia, in Kipron, in Omonian, and they 2 or 3 of them actually went to play in Cyprus. So that was the first one, is to keep, so as the name suggests, keep it in a Cyprus youth. And then other teams come. Obviously, Omonia is going to have their team, and so on and so on. And then they started the league because that was inevitable. They wanted to play together. And because the community was so tight, because they wanted to promote, not promote their Cypriotness, but they wanted to keep the things, bring them over from Cyprus, football was a big thing. So the weekends, it's not like now where there's so many different things to do. Then football was a big thing for these young men that came over. So at its height, I'm pretty certain there was 2 divisions of 13 or 14 teams.
Yeah.
2 divisions. I remember that. It was massive.
Well, if your dad,
in the KOPA League was really good. It was really good standard.
Amazing.
Really standard. Do you remember Frank McAvenny played for Leighton?
Yeah, of course. Les Ferdinand, Carlton Fairweather used to play. But your dad would definitely know my dad then, because my dad used to play professionally in Cyprus. He was a goalkeeper. He actually
in Larnaca, Alki.
Well, your dad would definitely know my old man. Off the thing, we'll speak about it. We won't go into it. No. But like my dad's played in a UEFA Cup game.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So when he came over in '74, all them Goba teams, they were after my old man, because Bedraghi, God bless his soul, him and my dad were very, very close because they grew up in Cyprus and stuff. And he was straight on my dad. You've got to sign for this team, sign for that team, sign for this team. There was all on him, and I'll never forget it. Like where Barrowell Green is, there was home pitches there for the Goba League as well. And I remember my old man. I'll never forget this. I must have been about 6, 7 years old, and I'll never forget my dad. This guy's come to his house with a full kit, right? And he goes, "And Nabexis Simera," and we literally walked across the road to the park, and he was playing for this team. I don't even know what the team was, man. And because they knew where my dad was from, they were targeting him, mate, like from corners and stuff. They were giving him digs in the ribs. Mm-hmm. And he actually broke his fingers in his first ever game in England. He went to claim a football. Some geezer's gone right through him, and that was it. My old man never played football again after that. Wow. And he ended up going to the committee at Anophysis. So he was a committee at Anophysis at a time. You remember Anophysis, in the 80s and 90s, they were a top side. But the Goba League was amazing still. Like, forget, it's gone now, which is the biggest shame ever. And you know what, Bedraghi, who's obviously passed away, recently, he tried his damn best to keep it going. Loads of
people did. I mean, the way we're trying to keep it going is we've got a vets tournament every
right.
month.
Yeah.
It's great fun. And you see a lot of old characters, whatever. But I mean, a lot of the Goba team. So the last Goba League, I think, was it 2-3 years ago? There was such a disparity between the teams at the top and the teams at the bottom. It wasn't competitive for some of these teams.
Yeah.
So their teams all gone to the Barnet Sunday League.
That's right.
So this year I've been reffing. Quit coaching last year, retired from coaching, been reffing, and it's been amazing that some of the games I've been reffing, they recognise me. I recognise them from Goba, and Goba's got such a broad variety and such a, you know, it's really wide, the pool of talent. And it was just amazing. I mean, in the Barnet Sunday League, Olympia, I think they might have been the last, were they the last champions? They might have been the Copa League. They've just won the Premier Division in the Barnet Sunday League. NLA, you know, they've been doing really well. Momonia Youth, they're doing really well. There's lots of teams, you know, there's loads of teams. It's great. It's lovely to see. They're promoting it in a different way, but Goba, I think, may come back in a different guise. But at the minute, the name's still there. You know, still want to promote it. We still want to, you know, we still have these five-a-side tournaments, and it's great fun. But we're the old ones. We want the youngsters to do it. Hopefully, that can galvanise some interest. Definitely.
It'll be amazing. Like, because Goba, I remember Goba as a kid, mate. My dad was part of our offices. I played in the Goba League as well. I won the championship with our offices, and then obviously I set up Pantel with some friends when our friend Paul passed away. We set up Pantel FC, which we represented in the Goba League. I love the Goba League, mate. I've got memories of New River when I was, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old, and they used to have the red pitch, and they used to go home, and my mum used to go mental because I was covered in red mud. Like the dugouts at New River, like when an offices, that was their home pitch. Because we was obviously, because my dad was part of the committee there, we used to follow them everywhere, home and away and stuff. So, fantastic. And I still see some of the old boys that used to play. Like fun offices back in the day, and it's like, wow, like some of them are heroes, man. Do you know what I mean? Growing up, like watching them,
really good footballers, like
top players.
Really top I mean, the Goba League used to regularly win the LFA Cup, which was like sort of the Champions League of Sunday League level, where you know, teams from the individual different leagues, like the Goba League and the different leagues of community leagues. And the Copa League used to do well in the different stages, like the European Cup, UEFA Cup, Cup Winners' Cup, the different levels. The Copa League teams do really, really well. And don't forget, out of the Copa League is how you got the youth team started. Because when the guys who came over and set up their teams, so obviously I know about Momonia Youth, so the guys from Momonia London, you know, once they get a little bit older and they've got kids, right, our kids want football and want to play football, that's when they set up Momonia Youth. And then you got Panathinaikos, then you got an AK, you got lots of other ones. You got Salamina now as well. Had lots and lots of teams because of that. So that's continuing the community football element at a different level. But yeah, the Goba League not being here is a shame.
It is big time.
And they should take teams to Cyprus.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cyprus.
They used to play against the proper teams as well.
Yeah, they did, like proper. Yeah.
It is a big shame because, like, as you said, it'll be great if in the future they can bring that back in some sort of, you know, capacity and give, you know, another strong league.
I'm still on the
I remember during the pandemic, I think Hellenic TV was streaming some of the games.
Yeah, they were
on their thing, on their YouTube channel, I think it was. But you know, now you mention now we mentioned the Goba League. There's something I want to say because I never met this guy, but from what I hear, he was an incredible character. And you guys probably know him. Yeah, Andy, you certainly know him. And that's Trevor Bailey, who recently passed away. You know, he was a legend at Nea Salamina. He played for our Bob in Cyprus. We're now Buffer.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot on social media about him, but I think it'll be nice to hear your stories about him, just a little paying homage to the guy, you know.
Well,
you know, I never met him.
I knew of him rather than know. I knew his brother Danny better.
Yeah, right. Danny.
I knew Danny better.
So basically, with me, Stel, as you know, my boy plays football. So, you know, Trevor was his first ever coach at 4 years old.
Interwood.
At Bailey Elite and Interwood, yeah. So, you know, Danny, Trevor, and Gary, the three brothers, used to all be at Wadham Lodge, and I was one of these parents that didn't want to go the Greek route. I wanted my son to go to the Rago route. Do you know what I mean? Where he was going to get roughed up a little bit, and you know, even at 4 years old, sort of thing. But you know, So I heard of Bailey Elite because what Danny and Trevor were doing even back then, when Mikey was really young, was they were bringing boys over from Cyprus, and they had their own little academy, which was Bailey Academy, and they were giving young Greek lads opportunities to go to clubs and trial for clubs over here and stuff. So I sort of heard about it from my cousin, whose son from Cyprus was at Bailey Elite, and Danny put him in a college and stuff. So I went there, and the rest is history, really, mate. Like, Trevor just was an amazing guy. I mean, I'm gutted when I found out a couple of days ago. Mikey was really upset because it was his first ever coach. Trevor scouted my son for Tottenham, so he looked after him throughout all his youth sort of career up to the age of, 10, 11 years old, and then he's obviously went to Cyprus and set up his school, his soccer school in Cyprus in Buffer. And it was really fitting yesterday because my son had a game yesterday for Brentford pre-academy against Northampton, and he said to me, he goes, "I'm going to score today, Dad," and he hasn't scored for bloody ages because he plays as a CDM, and for some reason he was put in a much higher position in the team yesterday, and he got the winner. He scored. We won the game 1-0, and he got the goal. And I just thought that's really fitting because Trevor, he used to look after so many, kids and give them so many opportunities. And it is a massive, massive, loss to, the football community. And Danny, I spoke to Danny a couple of days ago, and Gary, and, obviously gutted. But hopefully they do something to keep that memory alive, especially Bailey Elite. So, yeah, really sad still, really sad.
Yeah, it is. And as I said, I never met the guy, but I heard nothing but good things about him, what he's done for Cypriot football in general, and for him to be out in Cyprus. And obviously he had an affiliation with Cypriot players and the community as well. And I'm sure we welcomed him with open arms. And for what he did for the league is incredible. So, yeah, it's Grima, man. Grima.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. But yeah, like you said, in Cyprus, they loved him, mate. They loved him. I was sort of like finding out because I hadn't spoke to him for a while since he's been out there. Like I said, I speak to Danny more than Trevor since he's been in Cyprus. But from what I hear, his schools were the soccer camps were thriving over there because he's a big name. Trevor, he used to play professionally in Cyprus, didn't he? So. And obviously the whole Bailey, thing was big around the Cypriot community because all the brothers had played in the KOPA League and stuff like that. So, there was big around the Greek community. So that's why they all set up in Cyprus and stuff. But obviously Trevor was loving it out there in Buffer. He's sitting there at his little chair, while he had his coaches. Because there's some people put some videos up of him recently while he's doing his coaching. It looked like a really, really nice setup there. And I hope they keep it going, to be honest. I really do.
Yeah, well, he's in a good part of Cyprus, definitely, because Buffer is thriving at the moment. And I know companies like Total Sports and obviously Dubov is doing well with the club. And Buffer 1 foot in the cup final. They beat Apollon the other day in the first leg of the semi-final. So they might get to a cup final, and if they play Omonia, then I'm a bit worried. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, so yeah, Grima, man.
Yeah, mate.
But going back to the KOPA League, boys, there must have been some funny moments because you mentioned bringing the Cypriot culture to the UK, and we know what Cypriot football is like. And even nowadays, even though the facilities are better, even though the pitches arguably are better, the players are certainly better. But yet there's still an element of this is Cyprus. And I'm sure it crept into the KOPA League, right?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
KOPA's at half time.
Mike is spot on. Mike is spot on. At one stage, it was called the KOPA League instead of the KOPA League. Yeah, mate. There's so many, mate. I mean, Mike will tell you some of the supporters that used to come and watch games, them absolute lunatics that used to shout.
You must have hunted out from Upwell.
Oh man, I was going to just mention him straight away. I mean, that guy used to try and run on the pitch to get you at one stage. You know, he was that mad. You know, I remember Tommy, the ref. What was his name? Mike. Tommy. The Irish guy.
One he passed away recently.
Yeah, absolute lunatic. Like, he was the best ref you ever played.
If he was going to give a yellow card,
he'd slap you and then give you a yellow card. Yeah, do you know? I think his name was Tommy. There were so many characters that I remember, you know, growing up. Like you said, Stel, proper village. Do you know what I mean? Proper village. I remember Anophasis had a proper Greek manager called Varnava. I don't know if yeah, Varnava, his name was. He was like Anophasis. Yeah. No, the Greek Varney, that was the manager in the 80s.
Oh, right, no, I don't know. No.
He used to scare the shit out of me, he did, mate. He was from Cyprus, and they brought him over to manage the KOPA League team, and he was a proper disciplinarian. Like, I saw a few butters being dished out, you know, at half time as a kid there. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's been definitely been probably hundreds of stories still, to be honest, hundreds.
We need to get KOPA League players on for a separate pod and talk about the league there. That's got to be done. That's next. That's definitely next on the list. I've been trying to get people together, but no one really wants to talk about it for some reason. It's a bit of a wild one, but now they're just nervous about getting behind the camera and talking. I think that's what it is.
They're all psychologically damaged.
Oh man! A team from Birmingham.
Yeah,
there was a team from Birmingham in the KOPA League one year.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it Birmingham or Nottingham? No, Birmingham. It was Birmingham. Yeah, yeah.
You had a Turkish team in the KOPA League as well.
Yeah. Loads. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Chinna. Yeah. It was big. It was a big.
But there wasn't just Gibrey playing. There was all sorts of nationalities as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. But they had the rule. They had the
unofficial rule. The unofficial rule.
The unofficial rule. Yeah. But it was 6. I think, was it, Mike? Was it 7 and 4 or 6 and?
No, you can only have 3.
3. That's right. So it was only 3 non-Cypriots. So you had to make sure them 3 were the best players in your team. You didn't want a dodgy non-Cypriot.
On the sideline, counting and went,
yeah.
And then he'll start asking. He goes, right, and then I'll go to the committee and they'll ask for passports and
passports and yeah.
There's another question. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Here we go. You're going to love this one.
Right, 1 minute. I need to put some juice.
Yeah. So Kiri has asked, whereabouts in Cyprus did you have your first driving lesson?
Oh, mate.
Whereabouts in Cyprus did you have your first driving lesson?
Do you want to go? You go first, Stel.
Oh, that's an easy one. It was in my dad's village, Ora. He got the hire car, and I was 15. And he goes, "You ever driven before?" I'm like, "What are you asking me if I've ever driven before?" Like, my dad's asking me if I've ever driven, like I've driven before. It was like, was it a test or something? I'm like, "No." He goes, "Get in." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And again, it's a manual. It's not an automatic. So he's talking to me about clutch control and biting point and this and that. This is nothing. What are you talking about? Because you need to do this. So I put my foot down, obviously on the accelerator, too heavy. I've lifted the fucking clutch up too quick. The car's gone boom. And unbeknownst to my dad, there was a lakko, right?
Oh,
but it was hidden beneath xyla and shit, like the twigs.
Oh, no.
And the car's gone boom. He goes, "Oh, fuck's sake, I haven't got insurance."
Did bumper come off?
No, it was all right. It was unscathed, I promise.
Mike, what about you?
I don't remember, but I've got a driving story, which I'll mention. So we were in this was when me and the missus were still courting.
Okay.
So went out to Ayannapa, and we just got absolutely smashed.
Oh no!
Like hammered. So what are we gonna do? Oh, I'm not gonna get a cab. I'll tell you what. Let's just sleep in the car. So where the car was, I was literally gonna move it 20 yards into a Horafin bit, just so we can stay there and whatever. 20 yards. All it was. Got in the car. Policeman at the window.
Oh, shit.
I'm smashed now. Right? The missus is grabbing my leg saying, oh, we're fucked. Don't worry, we're relax. You can't even see straight. So why am I in the window? And I'm trying my best now. Yes? Ah, English. No, make it browse. Ah, but in Anglian, yeah. Daxi. Right?
English.
Daxi. Okay.
Straight away, you're fucked.
You've been drinking tonight, he says to me in Greek. He gets Bob said, no, mi som nyam bira, she ores. Brings out this thing. He goes, said he's not monduto. And I goes, well, yes, you know, to alcohol test. Now, another message just say, I thought, I'm fucked here. So I start blowing into it. I'm slow now. I'm just trying anything not to. So I'm blowing up, but he goes, keep going. Jallon. And he pulls it out and he goes, I goes, yes, in Anglian. Dudon en Americanicon. Right, exaggerate, en Americanicon. And he goes,
Americanicon.
Yeah, he goes, Seris Bosonipkes. Bemo Bosonipkes. The machine started beeping. Bemo goes, Nya. Dudon lei tipote. And he gets tipote. Ades, pangalon. I don't know how. This Americanicon must have been broken, mate. And I looked at the missus thinking we just got away with it. I was smashed. I was absolutely drunk. My eyes were probably like that.
Are you sure you didn't blow into Luganigon instead of an Americanicon?
I don't know, mate, but do you know what? I said, I should drive. No, you can't even see straight. So we left the car there, but that's my driving story. But it's an Americanicon, apparently.
Oh, mate, that's crazy. That's crazy. Mine was...
Go on, Karen.
I was going to say, mine was on a tractor in my dad's village.
Yeah?
Yeah. My uncle stuck me on a tractor when I was about 13 years old.
And they got about 16 years.
Yeah. Like the steering wheel's like that.
It's even bigger when you're 13 years old, man.
Yeah, exactly. I feel I could have been like a hamster on that thing. You know what I mean? Just running around on it. But yeah, so that was my that was my first ever lesson.
You're not much bigger now than when you were 13, Andy. Come on.
No, seriously. My uncle used to plough the fields, as they used to say, in the village, and he goes, "Hade," and he used to, you know, he got me on there, showed me how to do the gears. It's exactly the same thing, clutch and stuff like that. And yeah, that was my first ever, like, the time I've ever driven in my life, sort of thing. It was in Cyprus.
Khorakia stories are the best, though.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that's got a shit Khorafi story.
No.
Anyone. I'll tell you one, right? And this is one of the best stories I can ever tell people. So I've got a friend called Alex. I'm sure you guys might know him. Alex, Black Alex, we call him. He's Alex Halliday, right? He's an Arsenal fan. You might have, if you went Sports Zone, you'd have known him. But Alex and I go way back. We're talking 96, 97, right? But we're talking, this is the year Arsenal did not that they did the double. It was the year United signed Veron that summer, because I remember watching United Fulham 2002 when Sol Campbell joined Arsenal.
Yeah.
2002, right?
I remember that year.
Me and him, again, 21 years old, should go away. Where should we go? Cyprus. Now, he'd never left the country before, right? Never left the UK before. So we've booked tickets to go to Cyprus. We were going to stay with my yaya, no problem. We get to Cyprus, get to my yaya's house, put our validzas on the beds, open my valizza, t-shirt, short, standard. He opens his valizza, jumpers. And my yaya, God bless her soul, like, she welcomed in this house, but I've never seen her laugh so much in my life. What's this? Okay, fair enough. So I was like, bro, like, what have you done? He goes, I didn't know. My mum packed it for me. All right, fine. Anyway, so back to Dimi now, right? In Buffalo. So my dad's got in the car, right? We're going to Emilio's house. We're going to go have Souvla. The whole family's going to be there. Lovely. Now, my three cousins that were living in that house in Dimi, four of them, sorry. One of them, severely autistic, right? disabled as well, right? And again, when we were younger, we didn't really, there wasn't any filter. Do you get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like Griman or Astrobos or the Domoron. It was just okay, we're just going to banter him or whatever. But we understood that there wasn't something right with him. But we still bantered him like he was one of us. Now, bearing in mind, this is the first time Alex has ever left the UK. I'm taking him to the village. And also, he's probably the first black kid to ever be in that village, right? So when they saw him, they thought Michael Jackson, right? Yeah, he was like a celebrity, right? And Yodi, yeah, we're there. And Yodi, like, being the kid that he is, he's only seen a black person on television, right? So he's never seen a black person face to face. So he was like, "Oh my God, wow!" So we're waiting for the souvla to get done. He grabs Alex by the hand. He goes, "Ella, bamen," and he looks at me. He goes, "What's going on?" He goes, "He wants you to go with him." He goes, "Where?" I said, "I don't know. Just go with him. He's a kid. What was he going to do?" He was about 12, 13 at the time. Yeah. So he's taken Alex and he's gone. He's gone. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
What?
I'm like, where is he? Now I'm panicking now because I'm in my head. Again, I'm 21 years old and I've never taken him on holiday with me before. It's the first time this black guy's ever been to Dimmy. First time a black guy's ever been to Dimmy. And I'm thinking KKK kind of lynching is going on here, right? I'm shitting myself. Like, what is going on? Anyway, he comes back blacker than what he is, right? Because he's been in the sun all day, right? And he's like, "Fucking hell, man. Like, he took me around the whole village." I'm like, was it an experience? He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "To be honest, man, it wasn't bad." He goes, he took me to this field and then he took me to this coffee shop and there were people giving him money. And then he went to this shop and he bought this and this and that. He took me around the whole village. I was like, "Well, there you go. You've experienced the cost." He goes, Yeah. It was good though, but I'm fucking tired, bro." I was like, "Yeah, you've been in the sun for 3 hours, man." Like, honestly. So he's sitting down, right? He's sitting down, Dora. And he looks at me and goes, "Stel, don't say nothing to him, yeah? But when we went into the field, we was walking for about 500 meters and there was a stone in the middle of this field and he's picked up the stone. There's about 30 quid under the stone, right? So all the left eye he's been getting from the people in the in the gafinia and all that kind of stuff. He goes to the village, the Khorafi, and he puts it under the petra like that. I'm like, I'm gonna have some fun with this guy, right? Because still, don't say nothing to him, please, because he obviously he's hiding it. So I don't want to be the bad guy. I'm like, "Don't worry, bro. I'm not gonna say nothing to him anyway." So Yodi's walking by, and I'm right? I'm like, "Yodi, ne?" He goes, "Na pana se eftasu." He goes, and I'm like, "Putting better and chigado." He looks at Alex, he goes, "Malaga," right? Now Alex knows what Malaga means, right? And he's turned around, he's gone to me, "Why fuck you tell him, bro?" I'm like, I'm just winding him up. Anyway, fast forward a couple more hours. Now we're drinking Medaksa whiskey now, yeah, right? Because my uncle is at LRF, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Now me and Alex weren't serious drinkers back then, right? I'm not a drinker now, but we were 21 years old. You can only handle a bit. Anyway, so Alex has had a few. I've had a few. Whatever. Time to go. We get in the car. Alex is sitting in the back seat, toothpick in his mouth, falling asleep. So we're driving past Coral Bay, back to Limassol from Dimi. I'm looking at him now, and he's got the toothpick in his mouth, and he's in his sleep. He's kind of twisted the toothpick, and it's gone in his mouth, right? I'm like, what's going to happen next? He's going to choke? He fucking swallowed the toothpick, man. He'd been chewing it for so long, it turned into fucking slush. He fucking swallowed the toothpick. So when we got back to Limassol, I'm like, "Bro, where's your toothpick?" He's like, "Malaga, you swallowed it." Fuck off. Yeah, never let that go. But this is the same Alex who a year later went on holiday with Andy, Fidget, right? And he went to the Thalassa without his maillot and he wore a white pair of shorts. Think about it.
Wow.
He loves it, really. Listen, he loves the culture. He married the Greek girl, so it's all good. But
yeah. Oh, mate.
Love him. Shout out.
Brilliant.
Alex,
Brilliant. Yeah. Can you imagine that as well? Greekies are losing it.
Bless him, man. Bless him. It was funny though. The way, because I said he's gone for 3 hours, man. Like, where's he gone? But like, you're thinking, okay, if Banayodi comes back on his own, yeah.
He gave him a good time,
on his own, yeah. But if Banayodi comes back on his own, then there's a problem. I've seen Mr. Khorafi, man.
Yeah, I mean, most of the Khorafin stories like involve bloody snakes, man. Like my dad's My dad's village, like my uncle, literally, he is the fucking snake killer, man. He just used to chop them in half with the shovel. He used to
shovel,
because they were like they're like black snakes in my dad's village. They're not poisonous, I don't think. They bite you and stuff. And they can
bite you, but they're not poisonous. They won't kill you.
Yeah, like you still need to go to hospital and stuff and get like a little injection, but they won't kill you if you know what I mean. But what they do is they eat their crops, or whatever they're growing, so they have to get fucking rid of them. That's why they've all got like the cats there and stuff in the villages. But man, my uncle was fucking ruthless with that shovel, man. Like, he used to fucking sling them around like half a snake, flying all over the place. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Another experience that as well. Like, it's something you would never get over here. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. But have you noticed the older generation don't like animals in general?
No,
in general, like my aunt hated cats. She
hated
cats. Hated them.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'll never forget one time. Again, it was the same time when I went on holiday with Alex. We're sitting on my aunt's veranda, and she's sitting there with a television full blast, watching
standard.
Standard blast. But that happened. Yeah, exactly. You're walking around the neighborhood, the Yidonya, and you're hearing loud noises. Just all the gojaga.
It's all TVs. It's all TVs.
Yeah. She sat there with a fucking bastuni there, watching the television now. And this gato jumps on the dijo, the little wall next to her.
Oh no,
yeah. Bro! She popped up like she was doing karate, and she's got that fucking bastoni, and she's gone whack on the gato. And Alex was like, "I've never seen an old woman move that fast." I'm like, "There you go, there you go."
Remember back in the day, TV only used to start until after 4 o'clock.
Bravo.
No.
Bravo,
yeah, it used to start after. There's no TV during the day in Cyprus.
No. You're joking.
There was no TV.
There was no need for it.
There was cartoons for about an hour and a bit, and then
Mickey Mouse
programs. Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Yeah. There's no TV before.
I don't remember that. To be fair, I wouldn't have watched
things. So when I was with my cousins, we used to go and do things, play football, basketball, go out. Yeah. The kids go and have a drink, play arcade games. Just to do things. So you went and met people. You went and did things, hide and seek and whatever. Whereas now, just sit in front of that bloody box and watch YouTube and whatever. It wasn't a bad idea,
See, I mean, I wouldn't remember that because, like, obviously, when I was a kid, we used to be on the beach or at a swimming pool till way after 4, 5, 6 o'clock. So I wouldn't have clocked that, to be honest. But you're right. Who watches TV in bloody Cyprus, man? Do you know what I mean? It's like the only time we watch TV.
The news.
Yeah, like my uncles used to sit there. They used to. I don't know about your family, but my family was a sports family. They used to love the Olympics when the Olympics. Yeah. Oh my God! Like they used to watch when I'm talking every event, like every event they used to watch. Do you know what I mean? And they used to love all of that stuff. And then, like you said, the news. Jesus, I mean that news channel used to be on loud at bloody 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Blaring out of people's houses. Do you know what I mean?
6 o'clock.
But I'll tell you what, I bet you any money Rick gets more viewers in the UK than in Cyprus.
My dad watches it now.
Rick Sat. Rick 1 or Rick 2. It's Rick Sat.
Yeah. That's like my old man now watches some sort of like Greek EastEnders show on his box. And like,
that's Historias de Horko.
Yeah, and my kids take the piss out of him when they go around to the house. It's like, what are you watching, Bubpo? Like,
but bro, you say that. You say that, but I got into this show called Camping. Yeah, that was on Alpha. Yeah, Camping was brilliant, man. If you get the chance to watch it, it's really good. So basically, it's this guy, and he's got a wife and 2 kids. And he's working for this company, and he has a massive argument with his boss, and he kills him, and he ends up going to this camp. He ends up living in this campsite with his family because obviously he's getting away from whatever it is. But he's gone to hide the body, but the owner of the campsite spots it. But the owner of the campsite is a really dodgy guy called Thali, and mate, the stories is fucking brilliant. It ends up that he was actually laundering money for the Russians. It's wicked. There was 2 seasons.
EastEnders or directors need to get to this guy.
Mate, I was watching this religiously. Like
in subtitles or listening to it in Greek?
In Greek.
Yeah.
But when I went to Cyprus a couple of years ago, I found out where the camping, where they filmed it, near my dad's village. You know, right? It's around there. I mean,
no way.
And I drove past, and I drove into the campsite, and I was like, "That's where this one scene was." I was like, "That's just wild." Like,
no way,
like, bro. Like, you know, when you go to like EastEnders studios, right?
Yeah,
and, like, walking through, or even like Coronation Street, and you're seeing, oh, that's this pub, and that was like for me. So I'm like, now I know how all these people feel when they do these tours. I'm like, this is amazing. I've got proper starstruck and everything, man.
I think the only thing I remember watching as a kid was Fifiri. Do you remember Fifiri?
Flipping hell, that's going back.
He was like some comedian type character. And my dad used to listen to someone called.
My papa used to listen to someone called Harry Glynn.
I remember Harry Glynn. I remember Fifiri. Because my uncle used to call me that when I used to go to Cyprus. Number Fifiri. You know what I mean? So yeah,
those old films. Remember Greek City?
I remember Greek City. I remember Greek City.
And they had a section of for Betamax.
Yeah. I remember Greek City.
I remember once they had I used to go with my parents, you know, when
they had a studio there inside there as well, didn't they, Mike?
Yeah. And they had a copy of Real Madrid v Eintracht Frankfurt 1960.
Wow.
So when my dad saw it, he just grabbed it straight away, because my dad, you know, mad football man, knows his football inside out, and he took it. We didn't even go to. I'm not even sure we watched it straight away. He took it to his mate, who copied it for him, so we can have a copy. Me and my brother know the commentary of that game inside out. My dad sat us down and made us watch it. This is proper football. Watch.
But you had Greek City, and a few doors down was Garza, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Garza's fruit and veg.
Yeah, and then Giggies.
So Garza's is another football link. Gary Carsus, that was his dad's place. Gary Carsus, if you know, used to be Paul Lambert's assistant at Aston Villa.
Oh wow!
And now he's the head of QPR Academy. And he was my coach at Enfield Town when I used to play for Enfield Town, which back in the day was Enfield Football Club, where the Starlight Suites
Starlight Rooms.
Yeah, Starlight Rooms. So Gary Carsus, his dad was Garza's fruit and veg.
Everyone used to go to Garza. It was Garza and then Giggies.
Yeah, that's right.
It was. Like now, everyone goes to the Yasha Halim or whatever. Right? But back then, Garza was the one. Like especially like during Easter, the queues going around Giggies.
That's right.
Even now, the one in Cockfosters.
But Greek City, like what Mike was saying, like that was so one of my pals used to do a bit of music, and there was a studio there, and the owner used to let us use the studio. And like when you used to go into the front of the shop, all them videos and VHS stuff, and it was mad, man.
Later on, opposite the dog track, home gate dog track, you had Trehandiri.
Remember that?
Yes. Like sort of a competition.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah,
there was always competition, because you mentioned Trehandiri and Greek City. It was Vrisagi or Paneri.
Yeah. I love the Paneri, man.
That was the proper North London derby.
No, we were Vrisagi. Vrisagi FC.
No, I used to love Vrisagi as well, but Paneri was banging.
Paneri was nice, yeah.
Well, I know Alex, the son of
same on Alex.
So I've got to go Paneri, man. Even though Vrisagi is elite, like, and they're still there, they're still going.
Yeah,
they've got Cypriot owned.
Yeah, I think so. And they've got another shop now, haven't they? You know, Vrisagi Village, I think it's called, in is it Paul's Bar? I think they've got something called in Paul's Bar now. So yeah, well, I mean, listen, Vrisagi was the original OJ, wasn't it? Was to go there and have a mezzen with the family. And Baneri was as I got
what about older. Michli on the corner?
Yeah. Remember that as well?
Michli's, yeah. And he must have had produce there going back to the 50s, man. This is like in the 80s.
Wow.
Be there. Stuff just pile up.
And there's Dimos and Sons, which I think is still going, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is Dimos still going yet?
Yeah, I think so.
The only Greek shop now I know well is obviously Vespinas.
L'Espina in Arnos.
Yeah, in Arnos Grove. So
yeah. I'm pointing like it's down there.
Arnos Grove. That way. It's that way. Probably is that way still.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, actually. It probably is, yeah. Flipping out. No, see, this is the thing. Like, I think we don't realize how small our community is. If you think about it, it's big, but it's small as well. So all these names, like Trahandiri, when you said it, Mike, I completely forgot about it. Honestly, completely forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. That's a blast from the past, man. That's mad. We need to do this more often, honestly. Like, obviously, we are going to do it more often, but I'm sure there's loads more historias, loads.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Loads. But yeah, shall we wrap it up, boys? We've done an hour and 40 minutes, man.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
You see, it flies. It absolutely flies. We need to get more people on. So anyone that's watching, if you want to jump on and share your stories.
Another Charlie, man. Get another Charlie. Or even a Charlua, whatever you want.
Exactly. So yeah, my social is here. Mike's down there. Andy hasn't even put his social on. I did it, Andy.
I'll just write Andy.
It's here. There you go. See, I saved you the bother, Andy.
There.
There you go. Save you the bother. And we're on Instagram. There you go. We're on Twitter, and we also have a website. I'll have to put that down. I need to put that 1 second. 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Quality. The website's quality.
Thank you very much. And the website, as Mike said, nc-network.com.
There we go. It's clean. Do you know what? With website, it's clean. It's crisp. That's what it is.
Thank you. And I think we need to do some Life of Charlie write-ups. I think that's what we need to do. That's the next one.
Yeah, I think so, Mike. Mike needs to do the first article.
Yeah, but we should do articles for the Shooter Defence website.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
That's what I said. That's why I said it, man.
Oh, wow.
You start the first one, man. Life of Charlie article.
Mate, it was mad. Like, thinking about it now, how far everything has come since then. I mean, look, let's get it right. We start again. I'll go back to what we did at the beginning with Shoot Defence. We started off as just talking around the trapezi about football, and then Mike, you've done a lot of things in the whether it be helping with books like Wayne Barton at Man United, and you did a piece for Brighton the other day about AS Roma. Is that right?
Out of nowhere, this guy just emails me and says, so I've done 3. So during their Europa League campaign, he asked, because they played, which Greek team did they play? AK, didn't they? No.
Yeah.
AK. So wanted me to write one. They liked it so much, said, can you do one for the other games as well? So the latest one was the Roma one, and they did it as a 3-page spread.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man.
You've done a lot there, Mike. To be honest, if you think about it, from 12 years ago, from when you were coaching, I think that's when you started coaching.
I've been coaching for 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. But you, in terms of since the whole media side of things changed, like, you've done loads, man. I mean, deep here.
I remember I gave Mike an exclusive a few years back on what's his face now? The Greek centre half that had the Greek medical and failed it because of his knee. Do you remember, Mike?
Oh yeah.
He actually, what's his name again, man? I've forgotten what his name is again. He used to play in Germany. Centre back.
Papadopoulos,
yeah. I gave that's it. I gave Mike the exclusive, and he went on TalkSport. Yes, I remember that, Mike.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
and he failed his bloody medical.
Yeah.
It's your fault, Andy.
I know, man. Gutted. But he was bang on, though. He was bang on.
Yeah,
it was good. Do you still do that, Mike? Do you still talk about Greek football on TalkSport, or they don't?
They'll ring me up. Yeah, they'll ring me up and ask me. So yeah. So when they need someone, Hawk's been.
Have they not asked you about Ange yet? Have they not asked you about Ange?
No.
Or is it because he's more associated with Australian, isn't it? Rather than
they haven't really, but they do ring me up from time to time. Yeah,
nice.
They're good. I like them. They're good fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Excellent. Well, thank you, boys, for your time, and thank you, everyone, for watching. And I'm sure we'll be back next week. So until next time, Ade.